when I signed up, I believe in October.
Oh,
So, and then I think uh, I starting getting interview calls really from the beginning. And I actually, the day we started applying, I think I got my first interview call. And I think at the end of December, I got a job offer after a few
uh,
interviews. It's a young company. It's full of young people from different backgrounds as well, different nationalities. So yeah, it's great.
Hello, everybody. Today to another success story interview today with our former client Farooq, who's now living in Munich. And before that, he was living in Pakistan, in Islamabad, I guess. Welcome today, Farooq. Nice to see you again, and nice to see you in Germany. Obviously, we we still use computers to communicate, so there's not much difference. But welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great. It's been a great journey, and it's been really nice coming here in Germany and enjoying life in Munich.
Cool. Maybe to start with, I thought about what would be interesting for people to watch, for software developers who want to come to Germany. And since you are landed in Munich like 10 days ago, maybe first of all, we should say, how were your first 10 days in Germany? What was different? What was new to you? Like, how did you like it so far?
Yeah, I mean, the first 10 days were very enjoyable, but they were very, very different as well. The first thing was obviously the weather, because in Pakistan, it's like very, very hot right now. It's, I think, around about 40 days every single day. That's the highest temperature. Over here, I think the highest temperature is like 25 or something. So yeah, it's a great relief. Other than that, yeah, I've been traveling most of the time in public transport and also walking. So walking is great. And to be honest, I've been walking for, I could walk for hours and hours, and then I realized, okay, I'm whatever, wherever, because you see all those things around you, you see all these beautiful buildings and everything. So, and the transport was a bit overwhelming at first, because, there were different modes of transport and there was so many trains and everything. But then you start to get the hang of things. You start to realize which way to go and how to navigate, and Google Maps helps in everything. So yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good advice. A lot of people, when they come here, like here, you can really like go on Google Maps and you see how long does it take you from door to door and which transport you want to use. So that's usually a big help, especially if you're new to a city.
Yeah.
Farooq, tell me, what did you like most when you walk around? What did you like most about Munich, walking around in the streets? What is different to Islamabad?
What I really like is it's not that loud. Like it has this calm feeling inside it. And in the residential areas or anything, yeah, there are buildings, but there is also greenery. So it's kind of like a nice mix and match between the two things. It's not loud, so you can relax easily as well. There are very many beautiful sites. I haven't seen all of them actually. I have seen only few of them. Especially I like the Marian Platz. It's like there's a big market as well and everything. But yeah, it's different. It's exciting, to be honest, and it's great to be here.
Cool. And you arrived around 10 days ago. How was it for you when you arrived? Did you have any help? How did you find your apartment? And tell us about this process of finding an apartment, and maybe also did you get help when you came here? How did that?
Yeah, so I actually booked an apartment back when I was home. So when I arrived at the airport, I had a friend who was already living in Munich. He actually came to airport to pick me up, and then we traveled through the train to the place where we need to pick up the key, and then went to the apartment. And it was pretty straightforward, uh, except you have to look at the place where we had to go. But it was really cool. So it was a mix of like Google Map, we find out where the place was, but he also told me that in the stations, whether it's like U1 station or S1 station, there are maps that show you which train or which goes which route,
Mhm.
and that way you can find out which way to go. So it was really helpful, and I honestly, there are a lot of times I would see the place I want to go on Google Map, but in actually I would double check on the place with the map because Google Maps sometimes miss some trains or something. Yeah.
Cool. And now you are in a temporary flat, is that right? So you booked a flat for the first 3 to 6 months, I guess?
Yes, I booked a flat for first 6 months. So it's furnished. It also had the main reason was that obviously to register address because that is needed to get your paperwork started and everything. And it's actually pretty close to the city. Actually, it's kind of like inside the city. Everything is nearby. The food shops, grocery store, all of these things are just at a walking distance. So yeah, it's a great place to be here.
Cool. So basically what you have to do, like find an apartment, do your Anmeldung. Have you done that already? Your
Yeah,
registration?
yeah, I actually did that on in the first week that I was here. So yeah, that is completed, and
And
I
now,
already applied for my blue card application as well.
exactly. And how long does that take? When do you expect this to arrive?
So right now I'm waiting for the appointment. So it will take, I think, a few weeks to hear back from them.
Mhm.
I don't have exact date or time,
Yeah.
but yeah, a few weeks to hear back from them, and then obviously
Okay.
the appointment then.
So for everybody who's watching, like first you get like a kind of D-type visa, it's called. You're allowed to enter Germany, start working here, and then you transfer this visa when you have your Anmeldung, your registration, and your address to the actual working visa, which is the blue card in that case. Cool. Yeah, let's talk little bit about your journey, Farooq. You are a JavaScript full stack developer, correct?
Yes.
And tell us how, like, why, first of all, why did you want to come to Germany? When did you start thinking about it, and what did you do to, yeah, be finally in Munich now?
Yeah, so uh, to be honest, my interest in coming to Germany started quite a bit time ago, but I wasn't like actively applying. But then about a year and a half ago, a friend of mine actually, who was a colleague as well in the past, actually got a job in Germany, and he came to Germany. And basically, you hear all these things that yeah, it's a great country, and also the IT field is booming. Overall, the economy is very nice and everything. So it's like kind of like a big step forward. So yeah, at that time, after actually my friend came to Germany, that's when I actually started looking at things more actively. But to be honest, when I was applying on myself, I hardly got like a couple of interviews, I think, in like 4 or 5 months. And I was actually not able to pass through the first phase, even the HR, because I actually didn't know how to tackle them. So I already I used to tackle them the same way I used to do in Pakistan interviews, which is quite a bit different. Over here, HR tends to know more about your background and what you want and what you want from the company that you are trying to get in as well. So yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that, but then when I signed up for you, I think with at the end of September, I found out about you guys, and I signed up, I believe, in October.
Yeah.
So and then I think uh, I starting getting interview calls really from the beginning. And I actually, the day we started applying, I think I got my first interview call. And I think in at the end of December, I got a job offer after a few
Uh,
interviews.
exactly. I just looked it up before our call. We had our first call on the 18th of October, like the get to know call. So for everybody who's watching, if you want to apply for our coaching program, first you book a get to know call where we just check some basic requirements if we can help you. If so, we proceed to a second call, a 45 minutes call on Zoom, which we call career strategy consultation, where we discuss our program in detail and your program in detail. And if we're a good fit, we make you an offer to join our program and we can start. And you booked the first get to know call on the 18th, the strategy session on the 19th. Then you signed up straight at on the 19th, started the program. And we started applying on the 4th of November. So it took around 2 weeks to finalize your profile.
Yeah.
And then you got an offer on the 21st of December. So
Yep.
like a little Christmas gift. Just before
Yeah.
the ending. So all in all, the process went exactly 2 months, which is, by the way, also the average time, 2 to 3 months, which candidates do. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Tell us, next to the recruiting process, was there anything else? Like you said, now you got interviews, but how many interviews did you get roughly? Do you remember that?
I Yeah, so I think the first time after applying, I got like 3 interviews at that time, and then the second time around, I got a bit more interviews, like 4 or 5. And I don't believe there was anything that was changed in the profile or CV. We used the same CV for both times, but I guess it's just timing. So I got more interviews the second time. And yeah, I think every single interview except one, every single time I got to the second, or most of the time at the third level, at least at the third interview. So I did technical. There was a couple of times where it was like take home assignments, and a couple of times where it was like technical interview or live coding session. So I think most of the time except one, I got to that part.
When we speak about the technical part, was that somehow different to what you were used to from the recruiting process in Pakistan?
Yeah, definitely. One thing most different about it was the fact that they don't just want to see you solve a problem, but the way you solve it, right? And also like your coding standards, and what are the best practices that you might be using, and also testing. That is actually one thing that the one tip you guys focused a lot on regarding technical interview, that you have to write tests. And so it's different in Pakistan. It's most like you have a problem, you solve it, yeah, then that's it. They don't really care about how you do it, and what are the best practices and everything. But over here they are also focused on the quality rather than just the work done.
Exactly, cool. And then in the end, you also got the offer from the company you like best, in the whole process. That was really a good match, I think, to your skill set, to the company culture. That was really cool.
Yeah, I really it's something I enjoyed them in the interview most. I know somebody hearing from outside might be thinking that because they gave him an offer, so he enjoyed them most than the others. But I enjoyed them the most because of their overall culture. Any interviews that I had with them felt a lot friendly, felt a lot communicative. There was like I didn't feel at any point that hesitant to share or ask anything. So it was a really good interview process. And even after I joined, I saw that it's a completely different culture. Even some things that I read and heard from my friends about the company culture in Germany, that I was a bit concerned about. But over here, I don't have any concerns. It's a young company. It's full of young people from different backgrounds as well, different nationalities. So yeah, it's great.
Well, perfect. Now the big question, you got your offer in the end of December last year, and you just came to Munich 10 days ago. What happened in the last 5 months?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, one thing, the visa process, it took quite some time. The timing of the job offer was also that it was like Christmas,
Yeah.
and at that time, there are holidays and everything. Um, first I tried with the normal process, and there is also a fast track process. The normal process usually takes so in Pakistan, at least, sign up on the visa site, and they put you kind of like in a backlog, and they will give you an appointment whenever there's time. But I didn't get any.
Mhm.
So then my employer decided to go with the fast track process. The fast track process took about, I think, 5 or 6 weeks here in Germany,
Mhm.
because there's a process that completes in Germany. You get a letter, and then you can go to embassy. But after I got that letter, I got the appointment the next day, and then I got my visa in, I think, 5 days. So
Cool,
that was
perfect.
fine.
And in
Yeah.
between, you already started working for your new company, or how did you handle this?
Yeah. So because it was quite delayed already, and actually there was a time when I wasn't sure at what moment I would be able to get my visa and everything. So I started working remotely with them, and I worked with them remotely, and then like 10 days ago, I came here on the weekend. I joined them the next coming Monday.
Okay, cool. So you already know the team and the work there for a couple of months. which is
Yeah.
also pretty good. Um, Tell us, last but not least, now you're in Munich. How is it? Do you still work remotely? I mean, now you're at home. Like, do you work remotely or do you go to office? And how is it handled then, your company?
Yeah, so the company has kind of like this hybrid approach. So you have the option to come to office whenever you want, but you also have the option to work from home. In the office, there is still kind of like a rotation policy due to COVID.
Mm,
The restrictions are very, very less,
mm,
as is case in all of Germany. I think other than the transport, I don't think you need to wear a mask, at least that's how in Bavaria. And but there's still like kind of like rotation plan for COVID. So I usually go about 2 days a week on office, and the rest of the time I work from home. But also in Munich, I think last week there was a holiday on Thursday, and I believe next week there's also a Monday holiday, so I haven't had a 5 day week. So
that's
yeah,
good. Yeah, public. You have a lot of public holidays here in Germany, especially in Bavaria. I think you have
yeah.
2 or 3 more public day holidays a year than we have in Berlin. Yeah, really cool. I mean, is there anything else you want to share, or anything which you learned throughout the process, what you didn't know before, which you think could be important to other software developers, yeah, who are also looking for jobs in Europe or in Germany?
Yeah, I think the main thing I would like to mention, I say to anybody who wants to, sign up with the program and also work in Germany. The first thing is obviously you have to have a mindset of it. Like everybody wants to do it, but not everybody can do it. It's not regarding technical skills or anything. It's just
Uh,
meant your, state of mind, because it's not a small thing. You leave everything behind, your friends and family, and you move to a complete new country. It's exciting and everything, yeah, but also you have to be mentally prepared. And the second thing is, which to be honest, which is why I waited a bit more before signing up for you, is like the fees and the success fee, and the overall process. I mean, I believe it was York who explained in his video that according to salary in Germany, it's like almost like 1 month, or it's nothing. But from in country like, for example, in Pakistan, there's like the economy is very, very bad, and it's a huge
uh,
difference. But you have to look at it as kind of like an investment point of view. So you invested initially, but then you get the reward later on.
exactly.
And that's how any investment works. And that's, if you think about that, it's not that much.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I always say, especially if you think about long term, because moving here should be a long term decision, at
Yep.
least for the next 5 to 10 years. And I mean, now once you've been working here in Germany for a year or two, you get, I mean, you probably, if you change your LinkedIn, you see that recruiters will approach you every day. The job market here is just crazy once you're in Germany for software developers. But you also said something true. Yeah, we're always checking for 3 things mainly for people to join our coaching. First, it's tech, of course. Then it's communication, and then it's the commitment and the mindset. Yeah, because you need to be ready to invest a good amount of your time for a couple of months to be successful. And you need also to be ready to deal with rejections. That is part of the game, but in the end, we need to learn from that. And if you're ready from that, then it's a great learning experience, and then you're also successful like you are. And I have to be honest with you, it was a good process, a really good process. You learned a lot. You were always communicative, and yeah, it was really cool. And I have to thank you for that. And it was a good time also for me. I always like to work with people like you.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, it was great. I mean, I mentioned this about the company, but even before that, in the WhatsApp group that we had, I always felt easy to talk and anything with you. And I remember, there was a time I got rejection, initially 2 rejections in 2 days,
Mm,
and both of those places I expected to get at least something, or at
that's
least
true.
progress to the next round. And we had this talk, and actually it really helped me that, yeah, it's just a part of the process. So you move on, you have to forget about the past, and you learn from mistakes and just move on, and that's it. So thank
Exactly.
you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a pleasure. Well, thank you, Farooq. It was a pleasure talking to you. I wish you all the best in Munich, and maybe you can make. We just had last week we had a get together with all of the people who came to Berlin, Maybe next get together will be probably in 2 or 3 months. Maybe you can also join us from Munich, make a little tour. There's a good fast train from Munich to Berlin. Maybe you make a weekend in Berlin and then you come to one of our get-togethers. Was pretty cool,
Yeah,
actually.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I actually have a plan to visit Berlin sometime in the future because some of my friends are already there. So
Yeah.
I have planned to visit them as well. And definitely, I would come to Berlin, hopefully in the next event. So yeah.
Yeah, even if there's no event, ping us. We can have a cup of coffee. That would be more than great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And last but not least, if you're a software developer, an automation tester, a DevOps engineer, a data scientist, and you are interested to work in Germany, watch our 30 minutes training video where we explain everything, how we work, what you need to do, what is the process like. And if you feel ready, then apply for a get to know call like Farooq did. And if we can help you, we move on to a second call, which is a 45-minute call called strategy consultation, where we discuss everything in more detail. And if you fulfill all of those 3 requirements, which Farooq was mentioning, if you are committed, most importantly, if you made the decision of moving to Germany, if you have a decent communication skills, and if you work with a relevant tech stack, we will definitely help you to get a job in Germany. And yeah, maybe we make the next success video with one of you guys out there. Thanks, Farooq, anyway. It was really a pleasure to meet you. And as I said, see you soon, maybe in Berlin, if I come to Munich, in Munich. And yeah, bye-bye, auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.